Cyberpunk Edgerunners is probably one of the best anime to come out this year, and there's so many lessons to highlight just from this one anime. But one thing that particularly stood out to me in David's character was his relentless drive. This is the same drive that made David continue to seek more power, to push through and keep moving forward even in painful times, and ultimately fulfill Lucy's dream to go to the moon. This is how to have relentless drive like David Martinez. The first part of having relentless drive is to develop a high tolerance to stress and pain. It's no coincidence that David was so highly compatible with the cyberware, being able to handle the strain on his brain because of all the hard times that he went through. Growing up poor, having to deal with his mother's death, he had no other choice but to develop a strong mind. And the best way to develop this high tolerance is to deliberately put ourselves through pain and stress. In the same way that you would grow a muscle through stress by weightlifting, you must put your mind through stress and pain in order to see it grow stronger. We do this by focusing on activities that require you to put in work now with no promise of immediate results. We strengthen our mind by doing delayed gratification activities. Fitness is a great introduction to this, and it's something that we actually see David doing in the beginning of the show. We want to focus on delayed gratification activities such as NoFap, learning, fitness, and just taking action in general, while cutting down on instant gratification activities such as junk food, social media, and yes, binging anime and video games. I can spend hours talking about which activities we should and shouldn't be doing, but the truth is, you and I already both know what they are. So how do you start taking action on these activities and make them habits? Well, we start small. We start with the low hanging fruit. If you don't have the strength to do a normal push-up, you start with doing incline push-ups, and eventually you build up enough strength and you'll be able to. And you can apply this mindset to literally any activity. If you want to get into reading, for example, you start reading 1 page a day of a book that you're actually interested in. So in the beginning, you focus on starting small on these activities that will eventually turn into habits. And once you're ready to progress, you'll know. I was working out with elastic bands and doing assisted calisthenics for a whole year before I started going to the gym and weightlifting. But because of that period, once I actually started going to the gym, staying consistent has been very, very easy. And since then, I haven't really gone more than a few days without working out. Having relentless drive is about never letting up. It's a lifestyle that needs to be maintained. It's not just one thing said and done. It's a life full of taking action. But in order to do this for a prolonged period, you need to have a why. You need to have a higher purpose. Having a dream was something that David really struggled with until his mother's death and meeting Lucy. After which he had 2 goals: to take Lucy to the moon and to stand at the top of Arasaka, which he fulfilled both purposes. It's very easy to be motivated when things are going well and times are good, but in tough times is when our resolve gets truly tested. In order to pull through like David in these times throughout the series, you must have a higher purpose or goal. David's goal of taking Lucy to the moon is what pushed him to continue pursuing and taking action, even though he knew he was at his limits with his cyberware. Lucy's goal is also what kept him sane all the way to the end, even as he used all his meds and was going in and out of cyber psychosis. You have to do some introspection and figure out what is your purpose for self-improvement and why you want to improve your life. It must be something that for you is worth going through tough times for. Otherwise, you'll just give up when it becomes difficult. This is why understanding your beliefs, values, and your goals are vital to your success in anything. We live in a society where social media and algorithms know more about us than ourselves. And in Cyberpunk Edgerunners, where technology is literally fusing with your brain, it's probably even worse. So in the beginning of learning about yourself, you must question yourself on a daily basis and write it down. This is going to allow you to realize a lot about yourself, which is the most important part in discovering your purpose. When you're relentless, you don't know what failure is. You understand that there's just so many different ways to achieve your path to success. David chose the fast but devastating route, but nonetheless, he didn't fail. He succeeded in both of his dreams, to take Lucy to the moon, but without him, and he stood at the top of Arasaka, but as its #1 enemy. He did all of this and still remained sane to the very end of his life. Failure only happens when you've decided that you failed. And unless you've decided that, then you're always looking for a path towards your success. You have to be willing to take risks in order to achieve what you want. Either you do or you don't. But if you're relentless, there's only one option. There were many ways for David to achieve his dreams without his own sacrifice, and David's decisions ultimately led him down a path to his own demise. But I believe David died on his own terms, because it was what he chose in order to fulfill his dreams. And if there's one thing we should take away from Cyberpunk Edgerunners, it's that in order to become highly successful, you must become relentless. I'm Nori. I teach self-improvement through anime. Clearly you're interested in that, so hit the subscribe and notification bell down below. Believe in me who believes in you. Nori, signing out.